He cleared PMP exam. Now, Mr. G cleared PMP exam with all above target. And he cleared last night, or I would say yesterday.
What's that
Okay.
again? What's the question again?
You cleared PMP yesterday, or the day before
Yes,
yesterday.
yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah, Saturday. Actually, it was my evening, your morning.
yeah. That's
So,
right. That's right. Yes.
yeah, Mr. G joined us in one-to-one mentor program, and he cleared PMP in less than 45 days. And now this journey was very interesting journey. First, we planned to give the exam on basically 2 days before, but his
Yeah.
exam got cancelled because there was some issues in the PSN. But he booked it after 2 days on Saturday, and he became certified PMP.
Yeah.
And I told him, "You're gonna get all above target." And he was saying, like, I don't want to disappoint. It's like, no, 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 you will not, you will get it. So, Mr. E, why don't you share your entire journey?
Sure, of course. So, my journey started probably last October. Decided that I wanted to do the PMP, and because they're changing the exam structure, I thought I want to get it done before the end of the year. So I started to take a couple of Udemy courses. Did a few mocks, and it was around December. But I felt that I was not ready at the time. I really thought I was not ready. But I say let's give it a try and see what happens because when they, I mean, there's not no point. There's no issue in trying. No, no big loss because they were changing the exam structure. So I did that, but unfortunately that did not work out well, and so I decided just to restart again this year. But being a procrastinator, it took me till May before I actually started to do work on the program again. And I started in mid-May. Started with Joseph Phillips. Did his Udemy course. Took 2 weeks to finish it. But when I finished the course, I felt that the knowledge that I have was about the same as last year when I did it. So I knew it was very inadequate. So I was looking around to try to find somewhere where I can do courses and online or do some boot camp. And for some reason, I was never a big Facebook fan, but I was logging onto Facebook, checking out some of my friends' stuff, and for some reason, they push stuff to you on Facebook, and you came out. So I was looking at it. I checked out a couple of videos of you, and I say I should try it out with you because I noticed in a few of his videos, what really caught me was your enthusiasm and your passion for with your students. That was really quite something, and I say I should try to work something out with you, and I did, and started in June, I think June 1st, yeah, June 1st.
Yeah, June 1st. We
Yeah,
wanted
June
to
1st.
start in the last week of
Yes,
May,
yes,
and you
yes.
said, no, no, let's start on
No,
1st of
give me
June.
give me a few more days just to work my spirit, work my attitude, mentality up for it because I know when I start and I know how passionate you can get on your videos. I know it's going to be you start and you keep going, and that was exactly what was expected. I didn't mind it, and I think it was just the right. You gave us the right push at the right time, and the for me in terms of the materials that I studied beyond Joseph Philip that I did before your program, everything was just whatever you provided me. All your videos,
Mhm,
all the mocks, and all the journey videos. And your
mhm.
videos are amazing because I just practically in a couple of hours I would just pick up a new topic, and the assessments after that really reassures you that you've done that topic correctly. So I
Okay.
followed through the process, and then we started on the mocks. So
How many mocks you
uh,
did?
I did about 18 mocks, 180
Yeah,
questions, 18.
18
I
mocks.
see people like Sabi, he did like 60, and was it Elia? Elia, he did like 45, and I'm like, I'm way below the target here, right? I thought I need another month or so before I could get to their level. That's why I was a bit apprehensive about whether I was ready. But I think what happened was the last two mock that I did with on PrepCast, um, there was something that I found out when I did the lesson learn after I did the PrepCast 1 and PrepCast 2 exam. I found out that I noticed that my grade was not going up. It was in the 70s. And I did a very detailed lesson learn based on what you taught us. And I actually found my problem. So, and I adjusted the way that I handled the exam on exam 3 and exam 4. And immediately overnight, I mean, literally overnight, the next day on exam 3, my score was 10 points higher, just like that, right? And I realized at that time that it's not that I do not know the topic. The only problem was when I answer the question, I spend too much time overthinking the options.
Okay.
So overthinking the option, for me, was not a good thing. It was taking too much time. That's why a lot of the mock exams, I tend to exceed the timing.
Okay.
So I adjusted that part, and that seems to work very well. And at that time, I realized that I think I'm ready to do the exam with a bit more confidence. Yeah, because yeah, the root cause analysis, when I start looking at all the options, I analyze too much. And I realized after doing so many mocks, I got to trust my own instincts to just answer and justify that this is the right answer very quickly, because you have less than 1 minute and maybe 17, 20 seconds to do one question. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I still remember when I said that you were gonna get above target, and you are like that.
Well,
This is I'm not. I'm not gonna get above target. I just want
I
to.
don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping for a pass, the best outcome that was for me. But when I saw the above target, I was really, really surprised. Very pleasantly surprised, of course. Yeah. So that's basically about the journey. So yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about more of the exam. How exam
Yeah.
was more relevant? Which mocks were more relevant to the exam?
Oh, the I think the way you have structured the course given out to me personally, you've I think the process that you gave up, the mock they given up to me was just great. You did the try that and then move on to prepcast. I think that combination for me was really good. The sequence of it was really good, and I find that during the actual exam, the exam question, the way they structure is very similar to prepcast, but the option is very, very similar to try that. Like the option that you get, it's a combination, but because I work on both, you're kind of used to the style of option and the style of the way the questions are written by different authors, right? And it's very similar to prepcast. Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is that both mocks are important. Have you done workday
Very
mock?
important. Yes, that was before try that. Yeah, that one. That was very good in testing a lot of your knowledge, but I find that it's not as close to the real exam as TriDip and the PrepCast. That's my personal opinion. Yeah.
So exam was how much agile, how much predictive? What was the
Uh,
most targeted area there?
for me personally, I find that predictive. I only have probably about 10, maybe 15% maximum number of questions, because every other question was either agile or hybrid. And when I see a predictive question, I was very happy because I can do my process in the head and the answers are pretty definite. In predictive environment, I kind of have to think how you're going to implement the whole process. So I was very happy to see predictive because the process is in my head after going through your entire program. And I probably have maybe 10, maximum 15% that I can count, um, because they were very limited. They didn't come out as I wanted them to be. Mostly is a hybrid, a lot of hybrid question. And at least 58% of them is agile, just, agile environment, at least, yeah.
Okay. Which area was more targeted in the exam? Like
Oh,
stakeholder
yeah.
communication?
Mm. That is right on the money. What you just said there. As with previous videos that I've seen, it's stakeholder. Communication is big. Stakeholder is big. Conflict management. Develop team, manage team. Resources, and then when you break it down, cost not so cost. Schedule scope not so much. You do have those questions, and then you get down to resource. Resource is between is right after communication in that area. So and develop manage team a lot of conflict resolution. The problem I find that was not really a problem. I find that the training that you provided, especially with the focus on Tuckman letter for how a team is developed. I can actually, when you look at the question, you can easily understand that are they managing a team, or is that really a resolution a conflict resolution question? So you can kind of identify which area you're in. The explanation that you gave in the video was really thorough, all your training video on Tuckman letter. So that helped me in terms of differentiating the two uh, 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 um, I guess it's process. I guess not really process, but the differentiation, right? It could be team forming. Is it a storming, or is it really a conflict resolution that you're looking at? Though there are a lot of similarities, it's really similar how you deal with it. But in the mind, when I read the question, I try to form where the process is, because the process is where the answer is going to be, right? So yeah.
What about emotional intelligence? Were there any questions on emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence, I've seen probably one or two. Just kind of direct questions, very direct questions. If you know what emotional intelligence is, very easy to answer that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So what about those motivational theory, Maslow, hierarchy, pyramid?
Mm,
How
not that I can recall. No, no.
how many drag and drop questions?
I have five. Everyone comes up. I counted it because it takes so long to do it, because you kind of have to figure out where it goes. You have to read them, and the problem was the time management for me. I made it, but I'll talk about it later. But I actually counted everyone. I knew there was five for me. Yeah.
Okay,
But
okay,
they're actually quite straightforward, but the way they phrase it can be a bit tricky. So you really need to understand each and every item in there to match it up. So the phrasing is a bit confusing, but it's a bit straightforward, but you really need to read and understand how to match it. So
okay, okay. That's good. Okay, how can you tell about the time management? How you manage the time in
yes,
your exam?
yes, yeah. Time management wise, you called me the day before my first exam, but that didn't work out. But I remember what you said. Try to do 70 minutes each. If you stretch to 80, that's fine. Personally, the first section I did 80 minutes, and I had no time to review, because if I do another 5 to 10 minute review, it's going to cut into the other process. And going into the exam, I knew time management is going to be an issue, as in, and I would not have enough time for the section. So every question when I do, I actually do a very quick review before I move on. Like, okay, this is the correct answer. I know I probably would not have the opportunity to come back and do the review again. So I was quite comfortable not having the review at the same by the end of the session. And on the second part, 80, it took me the same time, 80 minutes, because the questions were very lengthy, just like in part one. And the options are lengthy, the questions are lengthy. It takes time to read it. And there's, I didn't get a break on the questions until the part three, whereby the questions were shorter and more direct answers. And then the last part of part three, the last 10 questions were very long again. But I going into the last section at 70 minutes. But by the time I hit the last 10 questions, I have about 15 minutes. And I knew that I could just slow down and read the question and take my time. I should be able to finish it. By the time I finished all the question on the part three or the last question, I have less than 2 minutes, and I just ended the exam because I don't want to do the review anymore. I was done.
You were
So yeah,
tired with all the things. Yeah,
yes,
you
yes.
wanted.
Yeah, because two
Yeah, okay.
minutes is not going to make a big difference between reviewing one or two questions. Because the way I did it was I actually, like I said earlier, I did a very quick review that okay, this is the answer. I'm going to stick with this, and I'm going to move on to the next question. So
Okay, okay. Now that is just awesome the way you explained it. Okay, how was the scope in the exam? How much the scope was in the exam?
um, the scope I did not see any surprises from the training program that you provided. There were no surprises, like no no moment whereby I look at the question and I say, I do not know what the question is about. The question knows me, I do not know the question. But I understand the question. I may struggle with the options, but there was no instances whereby I felt that I had never read this topic before. Where did this come from? Did I miss something in the studying? So that was the good part of your program. You covered literally everything that should be on the exam. No
And just
surprises.
for the context of everyone, you
Yeah,
started on 1st of June, and
that's
actually
right.
you were you were going to clear on 3rd of June, but
Yes,
but
yes,
yeah, because of that thing you are unable to clear. So
yeah.
with our program, you are able to clear in 1 month, right?
Yeah, yes, about yeah, slightly a month, yeah. And what the thing was, the I took your advice and take it at the center, and I think I would strongly recommend any students to do it at the center, because I find that taking the exam at the center, it's so much. It's a bit more relaxed than doing it at home. Why I say that was because in a proctor exam, you have to constantly stare at the screen right ahead. And sometimes if you work on it too long, your neck stiffen up a bit, you want to stretch and you kind of do this, you get a warning that you're going to fail the exam. And that will create additional stress. But in the test center, you can do this, you can put your hand up and just stretch your back and do that. Nobody says anything, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the best part, I find.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons. One of the reasons. There are also other reasons that I
Yeah,
always recommend, like going to the center if possible. If the center
yeah,
is not possible, then what we say that if you have a lemon, make a lemonade. You don't have a
yeah,
choice.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
true. That's
so
true.
do
Yeah,
it according
yeah,
to that. So
yeah.
thank you very much. You have given us a lot of information. Now you know I
Uh,
always ask one final advice. So what is your one final advice for the entire PMPs? How they can
Um,
work, how they can improve.
I think personally for me, I feel that the moment when I found out that I could that I was taking too long to work on the options and overthink not overthink it. That's the best advice I can try to give somebody who may be struggling with time management as well as taking too long to answer the question. I think what you need to do is if you have studied enough, you've done the whole program, or you've done enough of the entire process, you just have to trust your own instinct that that answer is correct, and don't overthink it too much. Yeah, that worked for me really well on prep exam prep 3 and 4. It just the grade just went up like that overnight. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. E. Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
And yeah, we started the journey in a very unusual way. First, you came to the, we started email, then you said, I
Yes.
will start after a few days. But once we started, I have never seen anyone so committed as you were.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
almost, almost the same time, maybe 1 hour earlier, you are always present there for a 5 minute, 15-minute
Yeah, yeah,
discussion, and you
yeah,
almost always did all the tasks that I have given you. Thank you
yeah.
very much for this.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you. I think
proud.
I think yeah, I think it's your passion that you have, and then I feel bad not doing it because you're so passionate with the work And I think my personal opinion is I think you're a wonderful trainer, and the topic that you're teaching, you are really on top of your game. And there's no reason why if anybody's watching this video that they don't want to go to your program. There's no reason. And
Thank
you
you. Thank
compress
you.
the whole you compress everything in such a short time. If I would have done it earlier by myself, I don't think I can done it in such a short time and getting such a good grade in that sense. So
Thank you.
or even
Thank
to
you.
pass the exam. It's just thank you to you, sir.